Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about using QuickCharts with PowerApps. QuickCharts is just a chart program that generates charts for you, and then we just push it back into PowerApps and we display it in PowerApps. It looks just like it's natively in PowerApps, but it's not. But it does use the data from PowerApps. So we're going to first explore. I'm going to show you my dummy data, and then we're going to switch over to my Power App that I made and kind of give you a quick synopsis on what I did there to prepare for this. Then we're going to go to the Quick Charts website, and I'm going to kind of run you through, you know, what charts are there and how to actually edit the code and stuff like that and set up options. And then I'm going to do a from scratch chart so you can see how it's done. Alright, let's switch over to my desktop and let's get started. Alright, so this is the dummy data that I found. Okay, I went into a website and it said I want 460 records of the top 10 careers in America. So, and AI spit out this. There's no names or anything. It just says job titles, department, your education level, what it cost, what the salary is, what company they work for, their start date, and their gender. So you can do a lot of analytics with this. Okay. All right. So that's my list. Okay. This is going to be our data source, initial data source. In my Power App, I'm going to actually pull this into a collection just so it's easier to work with and you don't have to worry about delegation. I got it less than the delegation limits, but I just figured it'd be easier doing it this way. So this is my Power App. I literally just created a gallery and dropped in the information. Okay, I know I didn't put any headers or anything on there, but I know what the thing is, and this is just for demonstration purposes anyways. Alright, so when you click on the analytics button, it's going to take you to the other screen called graph. Okay, now when you load in this screen, you'll see that it brings up my chart and my thing. Now this is already pre-set up. Okay, I know the labels are kind of funky because I was playing with it and I just didn't resize it. And I'll show you how to resize it later. And literally all this is, if you look over here, it's just an image control. And what it's doing is it's using a URL to go out to QuickCharts and push the data to it, create the chart, and bring it back. So if we open up this chart, now I know PowerApps says pie charts. I don't like the pie chart that come with PowerApps because there's too many restrictions and you can't control a lot of stuff. As you can see here, you can control the whole thing. Okay, you can recode the colors here, which you can do in our pie charts here, but the data is easy to control. You can swap at will the different charts. And the biggest advantage QuickCharts has, there's like 30 or 40 different kinds of charts. PowerApps has 3. You got a line chart, a bar chart, and a pie chart, which is not that impressive. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to walk you through this part. Okay, we're going to build one from scratch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image and I'm going to hide the image, and then I'm going to hide this legend. I don't like the legend that comes with the charts. It's really hard to manipulate. This is a lot easier. So this legend actually came from the pie chart, and I just got rid of the other 2 pieces. When you add a pie chart to the canvas, it groups together 3 controls, and the only control I keep is the legend. Sorry, I'm still getting over a cold. Alright, so we're going to go to the QuickCharts IO page. Okay, I'll put the link in the description when I'm done. But they changed this since yesterday. This used to say chart something. I can't remember what it was, but they called it example chart. Oh, okay. It's only there. I was talking about the chart gallery. That's where we're going. That's where we're at now. All right. So you can see generally right here of what they have available, the different scales and the customizations. This is just like a general thing. There's more. So I suggest you just scroll down. So first section is bar charts. You got all these different kinds of bar charts, right? And then you come down here, you get your line charts. Then you got your area charts. And then you got the other charts, which is everything else. Okay, it's a little of everything. Your linear scales, your logarithmic scales, time scales, scale options, legends, title, label. Okay, there's, as you see, there's a lot here. There's probably like 50 or 60 things here. Now, there's two different kind of pie charts. We're dealing with just pie today, okay, by the way. So, well, there's actually three. You got pie, label pie, and polar area. Polar area resembles radar too much, so that's why I don't want to do it. This is generally, when you use a pie chart, this is what you think of a pie chart. So what you do is you click on the name, and it's going to take you into the little maker portal thing here. And this is where you're going to customize it. Okay. Now you'll notice there's an edit with Chat GPT up here. It does work. So like, if I go like this, I go add legend to bottom. Something simple like that, right? I just asked it to do two things. Add the legend, because right now it's not visible, and then add it to the bottom. As you can see, it's wonky, okay? It should have went down here, but it didn't. So, usually what I do here is I'll go display true. Oh, I forgot a comma, sorry. And it still didn't go to the bottom. So, it's, like I said, it's weird. So, I typically don't use it. I just, set it to false. Oops. And then I leave it like this. Now, as you can see here, there's three things you have to update inside the code to make your stuff work. Okay, you got labels, which are the labels around the outside, you know, the actual words. You got your background color, and by default, there's only like 5 or 6, which you can get ChatGPT to make more. And then you got your data, which is your actual data it's calculating to make the pie. Now, this stuff down here you don't have to touch, but you can change them. So like if you want to make the letters smaller, you just change that to smaller. You can make this bigger. You can do your stretch. You can reduce the stretch. And that's just how far away the thing is from the thing. The labels are from the pie. Okay. Okay. Now, once you get it the way you want it, what you're going to do is you're going to highlight everything inside this box. You're going to copy it, and then you're going to open up your notepad. And I use VS Code because I like it better. So let's make a new text file here so I don't have to deal with the old stuff. And you're going to paste it. Now, anytime you're dealing with encode URL, double quotes are only used to encapsulate the command. As you can see, there's a lot of double quotes in here. You don't want double quotes. You want single quotes. So what you're going to do is you're going to re-highlight everything. You're going to go to edit, you're going to go replace, and then you're going to put a double quote up here, and then put, for the replace object, you're going to put an apostrophe. It says there's 60 items in here that have that. So you hit replace all, and if you watch, now they're all single quotes. And that's what you want. Now for some reason this 1, 2, 3, 5 didn't have the quotes around it, but that's okay. Because it's not necessary, because we're going to change it anyways. So now you're going to go back in here. You're going to recopy this. We're going to minimize our notepad. We're going to go back to our Power App, and we are going to create a new charting thing here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to select the screen. We're going to go insert. We're going to go under media, and we're going to go to image. Now the image, in the beginning, I make it to full screen because I want to be able to see the whole thing. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is, first thing you're going to do is you're going to need the first part of the URL. Okay. So you're going to have to go back to the site. You're going to grab everything up to the slash after IO. Well, actually just grab to IO. You're going to copy it, go back to your Power App. You're going to go double quote. You're going to paste it inside. And then you're going to go back to your sandbox area here. And you're going to copy this chart $C equals. And then you're going to go back to your Power App, and you're going to place it right after the slash, but before the double quotes. So it looks like that. And then we're going to concatenate that with encode URL, right parentheses, and then a double quote, because we're starting our text again, right? Go back into your text document. We're going to recopy this because I copied something else afterwards. You're going to paste it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this left curly brace down the next line. I don't like it being with this stuff up here. And then you're going to come down here. You're going to put a double quote, hit enter, and then put a parentheses. Okay, it's being done. Okay, so, well, I guess that's the left paper because of this stupid Copilot thing. Alright. Alright, what's the problem here? Oh, it took away my double quote, that's why. Alright, so it's happy with this. And if you close up the formula bar, you'll see that you don't have a graph. I wonder why it's not showing a graph. It should. HTTPS QuickChart.io. Oh, it's got 2 slashes there, that's why. Now it should render. There it goes. So our chart does work. So now we're going to make our modifications. Now what I did on this screen is on the unvisible, I created some collections. And you'll have to do this too if you want to bring your chart data in. So first thing I did is I created this. And I mainly created this so I can create this. It's just a listing of all the departments within my data source. Okay, so if you double click here, you open it up. I know it's going to go off the page a little. Should turn off those notifications before I okay, let's see here. Put this up here. All right, so this first command is actually pulling all the data from the list into a collection called cold data source. So if we open up that cold data source, okay, it's being finicky right now. It always seems like when I start the recording, it does this. I don't know why. It just kind of hesitates really badly. So we open up collections, and we go to cold data source, and we open the table. Essentially, a collection is just a table, okay, that you can use for whatever. All right, you see it made all the columns. Now I'm waiting for the data to come up. Okay, so there's going to be 460 columns in here, or 460 items in here. So rows, records, whatever you want to call them. And then there's like 10 or 12 columns across. And as you can see, if it's a table, it's going to show this little icon. Looks like a table. Looks like a grid. And the rest of the stuff's pretty much text, except the stuff that came with the list. And this is what we're going to use for our data. The next collection it creates is this one. This one is not necessary. I used it to give me the names of the unique names of all the stuff. Okay. Now these down here are filtered collections that basically went to each one of these and said, hey, when the department equals engineering, write all the engineering items inside that collection. And we did that for all these. And then it creates a final collection called Cold Graph Department. Where is it? Where is it? It's down at the bottom here. So there's only 12 departments, so it made 12 lines. And then what it did, it went into each of those collections for that particular department and counted how many items were in there and posted it in here in the data column. Okay? So keep in mind, all these collections are important because they lead up to this. I actually tried to generate a collection based off of from for all. So it went through the L 460 items and counted them, which one's which. But it kept telling me 460 for all of them. So I kind of gave up on it and just made the individual collections and have them counted. And it worked the way it's supposed to. So, knowing that, we can get out of this. And as you see here, first I created the data source, and then I created this, which I could get rid of if I really wanted to. It's not actually doing anything. And it says clear collect, coal engineering, coal BD, coal legal. So it's each one of the sections or departments. And then it's saying filter data source when department is equal to whatever, right? And then it comes down here, the coal graph department is, now it's got one line per collection that is counting, and that's your data. Okay? So, in this chart, what we're going to do is we're going to use a command called concat. Concat is used for taking a table and turning it into a string value. And that's what we want to do, right? Because we want to put each of the values of the labels and the data in a single line. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to delete everything between the square brackets. Square brackets have to stay because that's what it is. I put a few spaces in there just so I don't overwrite anything. I'm going to escape the double quotes. Whoops. That's not a double quote. That is a pipe. And then I'm going to go and concat our data source. So it'll be coal data source, comma. And then we're going to, since we got to put an apostrophe on either side of the label, we're going to have to add that in there. So we're going to go double quote, single quote, double quote, and the name of the column that's got the labels in it. And that is going to be department. So it's DEPT. And I know what it's doing. It's fine. double quote, final apostrophe, comma, quote, and quote. Oops. And then we're going to close this up. For some reason, it's not liking... No, that's wrong. We need the cold graph department, and now it should work. Okay, so it's basically saying go into this data source, concat all the department labels with the apostrophe on either side, and then put it in here. So the way you double check your work is just highlight everything up to... I forgot something here. Cold graph department. I think it's here if I remember. So you look down here, you'll see that there's an apostrophe on either side of each of the items. And that's what we want. Okay? So I'm going to copy this. The other command is virtually identical. Whoops. Forgot the first part. We're going to copy. We're going to come down to the data, and we're going to paste it in there, and we're going to change department to data. Now if you come up here and look down here, you'll see that it puts apostrophes around each one of the numbers that are in there. Okay? Now what I need to do now is I need to set these background colors. There's 12 items. There's 12 things in this pie chart, and I got 5 colors. So anything beyond the 5th color, it's going to make black, because that's what the default color is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my my little code here, and I'm going to tell ChatGPT I want it to generate the colors. Okay, so we're going to go need 12 background colors. And what it'll do is it'll actually generate those background colors for you. Okay, it doesn't look like it did anything, but you see 5 colors here, but watch. If you'll take the scroll bar and roll it to the right, it's definitely got more colors, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all these. I'm going to go back into my PowerApp, and I'm going to replace it with these. Now, the hexadecimal conversions for colors works here, but when we go to build our legend, we have to use RGBA values, which I have a website that does this for you. Okay, you just have to do them one at a time, so it takes a little time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video when I actually go to do that, so that way you don't have to wait on me. Okay, but if we open this up now, oh, it's not happy about something. Let's see. Oh, I know why. It's the double quotes. So let's grab all the double quote stuff, go back to our text, or our text file here, paste it in, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. So I'm going to grab everything that I just copied. Looks like I grabbed a square bracket too. Okay. I'll paste it here. And now it should show. Boom. There's our chart. Okay. Now the one color I don't like is this green one. It's really atrocious, so I'm going to make it black. And in order to make it black, it's going to be, I believe it's the second last color. And the way you tell is if you go back into your formula, right? Go to your labels, click after the parentheses, and you're going to find business development. There's a second one here. Is that the one we're going after? No. It is sales. Okay, so let's look at sales. Oh, went back to the screen, didn't it? Alright, so let's look at sales. See where sales is in this grand scheme of things here. Looks like sales is the very last one. So this is the one I'm going to change. It does the order of this. So you just double click, change them all to zeros. That signifies black. And boom, now you can read it. Now the other one you can probably change is this one. So I think red is 4 zeros and 2 F's. No, it's 2 F's and then the rest are zeros. So we're going to make this red. So we're going to look for training. And here, training is 1, 2, let's see. Of course it's going to be in the middle, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be FF0000. That should be red. Yep. So now you can make these letters black. You can make them any color you want to. And the way you do that is in the code again. On here, you got your color right here. See, it's set to white. You can set it to black, brown, tan, purple, yellow, whatever you want to set it to. White, I typically leave white because most of the time they're going to use darker colors. And white stands out against the darker colors pretty well. Now we're going to do our legend. Okay, since this is done. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this picture just a little smaller. Just enough where I can fit my legend in here. Now what I can do, I wouldn't suggest this because it's already pretty close to the edges here. You can, one thing you can do is remove your stretch. So it's like 20. And then your minimum size, you can make it like 10. Just make everything a little bigger, a little closer together. And now you can actually read it a little better. Okay. So for our legend, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into our tree view, select our screen, go to insert, and you're going to go down, and we're going to close out media because we don't need it anymore. You're going to go into charts, and you're going to select the pie chart. Remember, I'm only using the legend, so I don't care about the rest. So what we're going to do is, this is an actual group, like if you group something together. So I'm going to ungroup it because I need to separate everything from everything else. Okay? As you see, it just throws everything around. Now the colors and stuff are being associated with this. So the chart title, we can delete right now. Okay? We cannot delete the pie itself yet because it's still got formulas pointing to this. And we can fix that. We're going to fix that here in a little bit. So, if we click on the legend and we go to item something, where is it? Item color set. That is what controls your colors. As you can see, it's pointing to the pie chart. Okay, we don't want that anymore. So we're going to go square bracket, square bracket, and then we're going to put all our colors in here. So let's close this up. Let's go in here and let's grab all these colors. Now, why is it going to tools? Alright. We're going to go here and I'm going to grab all of these. And we're going to copy them. Then we're going to go to the legend we're just at. And we're going to paste there it goes. We're going to paste these in here. Now, what I'm going to do is we're eventually going to convert these over, but I'm going to put these in a straight line so it's easier to swallow. I hate when things go across the screen forever. And then on the last line, you're going to put a right square bracket. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to a site called W3 Schools. Okay. And what I type in the search is CSS color wheel. The first item comes up is what you're looking for, the HTML color picker. It converts hexadecimal color formats to RGBA, DSL, and a few others. So we click on that site. It's going to bring you in here. What you're going to do now is one at a time. You're going to double click each one of these and copy only the letters and numbers. Okay. The pound and the apostrophe you don't need. So what I do is I cut it because it's not going back in here. Okay. You're going to enter your code. Hit OK. And it's going to give you the conversions all right here. So you just copy the whole thing. You're going to go back to your Power App. You're going to remove the 2 apostrophes and the pound sign. Paste it in here. But it is missing one character. It's missing the affinity. Okay? That's not part of RGB. Okay? But it is part of RGBA. Just remember, you got to have it in all capitals or it's not going to work. Alright, so I'm going to pause the video now so I can go ahead and do the other 11. When I come back, we'll continue on from here. Okay, I got all the values converted from hex over to RGBA, as you can see here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I got to go to the items property and change this over to our items. And essentially all I have to do is point it to the collection. So it's Cole Graph Department. So if I uncover this, you'll see that it's got all our basic stuff here. And it should match up color by color all the way around this, if I did it right. And now I can delete this. And then I'm going to, here's the handy thing about this. I can do anything I want with this, position it anywhere, and it'll work. So you can just go like that, just make it look all pretty, and boom, our chart setup is now done. And I can put that legend anywhere I want to. I don't have to leave it on the side or on the bottom or on the right or the top. I can literally put it anywhere, resize it anywhere. It's just better. Okay. Now, what taught me how to do this was the Matt Devaney's post, which is right here. I'll go back up to the top. Okay. It says 20 plus more Power App chart types with QuickChart. Okay. Little synopsis. You know, charts are a useful way to allow readers to understand data and identify relationships and patterns. In PowerApps, we only have a few charts available: the column, the pie, and the chart. The column, the pie, and the line. And it's limited as a set of options for styling. Often we want to use a particular chart type, which is not available. With QuickChart, we can extend PowerApps to over 20 different chart types and have more of a choice of appearance. In this article, I'm going to show you how to do it, basically. Okay? You got these links here that'll take you straight to the sections, but we need to walk through this slowly here. So he starts out with this chart data, right? It comes from QuickCharts. And then he looks at the formula. As you can see, everything's static in here, which is bad. Alright, so here are the 3 standard chart types. Sorry, it's getting late here. Here he's using a drop-down control what gets showed in here. It shows you how to make the SharePoint list, so it'll work with this. And this stuff right here, I already went over. Okay. Here you're starting with the way he's doing it now. So you're going to generate a chart image. So you're going to put an image there. You can name a chart or whatever. Oh, looks like my internet's starting to slow down again. Okay, the way you pull it out of the site, it looks like this, right? Will you stop scrolling, please? It's like it's going like it's like there's a huge delay. Okay. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, whatever, right? See, these are your data sets. This is going to take a really long time at this rate. So what we want to do is we want to make everything dynamic. And as you can see, he does this here with the labels and the data. It's using a cat command just like I did. But that's this, okay? And that's pretty much it. See, since we do everything invisible to the screen, all we have to do is navigate to the screen. And then the invisible takes over, creates those collections, and then it displays the charts. Now, one thing you can do, which we're not going to do this video because I don't make it any longer than it needs to be, you can put tabs at the top, and depending on what tab you select, you can make the visible property of the legend and the pie, or whatever the chart you're using is, and set it to false unless a particular ID is selected. And each button has an ID, whether it's the name or it's just the actual word ID. So that's something you can do if you want. You can control these charts with drop downs. I did it on an app I'm doing with the federal government, and it basically says it's got two choices in the first drop down, and it'll point you to the right data source, and then it has an FY drop down. And I got it all to work with one graph, so I didn't have to switch it out. But that's something you can do too. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to leave all the links in the description. I'm going to give a brief synopsis in the description about this, and then I'll have all the links in there ready for you so you can do it on your own. Alright, well, that's pretty much it. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you next time.